what's going on with YouTube and why it's not going live, but Big E, we're going live now. We're coming back, letting you guys know that this show is brought to us by Earl Campbell Smoked Sausage, ladies and gentlemen, a true Texas legend. No matter where you are and what you're going through this weekend, grab some Earl Campbell Smoked Sausages and let that flame out, let that grill out on the pit. You will not be disappointed. Go to your local grocery store, go to your local supermarket. Top 10 sausage company in America, and I'm so incredibly thankful to have their support, their family support. Big E, check me out on YouTube right now. It is going on live. So I appreciate everybody that's tuning in. In the last segment, we talked very briefly. I was driving down, coming here on 35, crossing the toll road, and the word grace just came over me. So when you get these messages, head to your SoundCloud, head to YouTube, head Instagram, social media, wherever you can always find all the messages. If you go to SoundCloud, I think I have like 4 or 5 years worth of content. I say it all the time of me being on radio, various inspirational messages. You can go back, find me, TC Speaks, find me at Tyler Campbell. You'll see the word and you'll see the shows, and go out and download them, share them with the rest of the world. Again, first segment, we talked about grace, how none of us are worthy of it, the blessings that we receive. That's grace. Nobody deserves the blessings. Nobody deserves the love. Nobody deserves the children. Nobody deserves the spouse, the great job. You are not deserving of it because we have a lot of hindrances in our past that say so. I don't know about y'all, but I got a past, right? I have issues with alcohol in my past, right? I have issues of mistreating people in my past. I am not deserving to be on 102.7. I'm not deserving of the amazing wife that I feel like I have, to be a father to 4, right? That's grace over my life. I'm here to tell you that I'm not casting stones. I'm merely talking to you about what it is that I feel. And I think a lot of times over the radio waves, if I have to be honest with you, a lot of times people think I'm talking to somebody. I'm really in the confines of this room, in the confines of this space. I'm really on radio talking to myself. So a lot of times people think, TC, you talk. I'm really talking myself. That's why I call it real life, real talk. I'm literally delivering my own therapy session. I'm just bold enough to talk about it and be vulnerable about it with the rest of the world while going live. All right. So here we go. The word of the week for this week. All right. The let that marinate on your cerebrum for this week is coming from the show Forever, which I was telling people who are on my IG. It is a very popular series. I think they're going to come out with a series, season 2. It's just really a dope story about Black teenage love. If I have to be honest with you, my man Earl told me that over the Instagram. Earl, I'm gonna use what we were talking about, and so it helped me identify as a young Black male, like some of the things, some of the thought processes, right? Just being vulnerable, being jealous, just all those things that come with teenage love that you get to see relived and you kind of identify with it. But there's a conversation between the father and the son. And I can't think of the father's name, but he's a great actor. Whenever I see him, I always think of the show The Wire. I always think of Remember the Titans, right? Left side, strong side, Julius from Remember the Titans. I can't think of his name. If you guys got it, type it in my IG handle. But he's having a conversation. Wood Harris. My man Pat came out of left field. Wood Harris, let's go. Wood Harris is conversating with his son in the show, and he tells him, "Yeah, Biggie, we got it, Earl, we got it." He tells him the son is dealing with a breakup, right? And then he figures out that he actually loves this girl still, even though they broke up and some bad things happened between them. And his son's like, man, but I feel like I don't know if I should go back. I don't know what I should do. Should I? Like, there's so many questions, right? And he tells the son, he says, you know what? Sometimes a man has got to go through the fire to figure out who he is on the other side of the heat. Boy, listen, we can all walk off and go do something else. Class is in session, ladies and gentlemen. A man has got to go through the fire to figure out who he is on the other side of the heat. Let's walk away for a second. Let me give it back. Let me step into your living room. Let me step into your office. Let me step into your car. Let me step out of the speakers and speak to you wherever you are right now. What is it in your life? Walk with me, talk with me, listen with me. What is it in your life that you had absolute hell when you went through this thing, or maybe you are still going through this thing. But when you made it on the other side of that sickness, when you made it out on the other side of the abusive relationship, when you made it out on the other side to a different job, when you made it out on the other side of coming across a new friend, you recognize that there were a lot more freedoms that came your direction. There's a lot more love of yourself that came out of the fire and the hell that you went through. Maybe a lot more peace that came over your spirit after you made it out of the hell that you have went through. Vice versa, let me speak to somebody because you're going through the fire in your life right now with a sickness, with an ailment, with trust issues, with relationship issues, with job concerns, right? With financial setbacks over your life. Yo, you are in the fire right now. I'm here to tell you that you're going to find out so much more about yourself when you recognize the grace that has been delivered over your life, that you can see that you're going to be something special on the other side of the heat that you are experiencing. Here's how you know. Look back over your life, look at childhood, look at previous, and there has been something or someone over the radio. There has been something in your life that you did not think that you were going to make it out of. Again, walk with me, talk with me, listen with me. Look back over your life. Don't look over anybody else's. I want you to stay focused on you right now. Look back over your life. What is it that you went through that in that moment you did not feel like? There was no way. You didn't think you were going to go to college. You did not feel like you had prayed that your mama would not find out about what you did. But then you felt that fire getting belt to behind. You didn't understand how in the world you're going to make it out of that discipline, that punishment, and what would happen. But somewhere along the lines, that fire that you went through with your parents and getting disciplined, right? The lesson that was learned, right? The punishment that you eventually got out of. It made you a better individual because you learned your lesson. Or you figured out why your parents, why your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins would say things like this to you as a means to try to save you. The punishment hurt, right? The ailment hurt, right? The job loss, it hurt. You didn't know how, but if you look back over your life, you did make it through because we're here talking about it today. So if you don't do anything else but look back over your life, and I don't know what it is that you have gone through, but you have made it through. So whatever fire that you're walking through right now, that should be the word that you need of yourself, not from anybody else, not from TC speaking it, to know that you will get over and get through what it is that you're dealing with right now. You know, being down here and in Austin, bro, living in Pflugerville where we live, like, those floods that made the national news, bro, and the lives of people who've been lost and all whenever those tragedies happen, bro, it just makes me look over life and really appreciate what it is that you have today. So that's why I say things like some people, some children, like, they did not wake up to live to see tomorrow. And it registers with my heart with the flood victims, bro. It's like, yo, could have been my children, could have been me, could have been my family, right? And so when I think of the lives that have been lost, I'll really look at life like, yo, I have to give it my best. Because there are people now who aren't here. They don't have that opportunity. I don't know where you need to be inspired through, what you need to hear. If you're going through fire in life, bottom line, you are breathing and you are alive. People don't have that formative opportunity over the hundreds of some odd lives that have been lost and they are gone. You don't need my words to be inspired to try to make it through. You can look at life through what has happened down the road for me in Central Texas and say to your doggone self, like, I'm here. And I am going to figure something out because I have breath and I have opportunity that other people just don't have anymore in life. So the fire is actually the awakening, I feel, of something new rekindled in your spirit that is going to come alive out of the experience. Here's my fire. My fire is multiple sclerosis. I'll always stand 10 toes down. I could think of nothing more. Yes, I went through the alternative system. Yes, I had my battles with alcohol. Yes, I lost all scholarships, had to fight through a junior college to get through a scholarship. Last chance you for real, I lived it, right? To keep a college football dream alive. I will tell you that nothing comes close to the fire of experiencing what it's like to wake up and not be able to feel your limbs, to wake up and not be able to talk, to wake up and not be able to walk, and to wake up and just try to figure out what it's like to start life from a physical standpoint completely over. I don't know. Fire, okay? Waking up one day, that is my fire, a fire that I still live with today, a fire that has no cure. I'm walking in it every day. But when I look on social media and I see people like Erica, I see people like Earl, I have met and come across different people who walk the walk, talk the talk, who live with the disease like I live with. And I can I can humbly and I can strongly, with all confidence, say that I'm on the other side of the diagnosis in terms of, I know what it's like to live on the other side of the heat. It's not my truth. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not everybody else's truth. But my MS, honest to God, I can sit back and tell you that it has been a blessing to me. I would not wish it on anybody else's life, but because of the doors, the opportunity that it opened up for me. I'm not speaking to you here on 102.7 ESPN if I don't get diagnosed with this disease when I'm playing college football at San Diego State. It's not happening. I'm not. I don't feel like I'm seeing a therapist every 2 weeks, trying to constantly monitor my mental health if I'm not faced with an understanding that this multiple sclerosis monster, this fire, I can't do this alone. I don't think I'm sat down with it and actually trying to figure out what's most important and what's meaningful to me in life. I don't feel like I'm having those conversations with myself internally at the age of 21. Listen to me. I don't think I'm looking at life through that different lens in terms of what really and truly matters. Like everything becomes so simplified when you get sick. You ain't worried about the shoes. You ain't worried about doggone clothes. You are worried about, can I make it to the door today? Can I get to the bathroom without using the restroom on myself? How about this? Can I just feed myself today? It becomes so I feel like I started to understand what I wanted through I started to figure out what are the values that I want out of a wife. I started to daydream about what I wanted life to look like when I'm in my post, right? Because you don't know if you're gonna be in the wheelchair or not, right? You don't know what it's about to look like. So you start to dream, you start to fairy tale with yourself. I feel like I was blessed to sit down and see what the man up above was trying to tell me, because I understood the fire of what I was going through with MS, and I didn't miss out on my wife. Because I went to college with this woman, sat across from this woman, met this woman the first day of school when I was in college. First day. Yo, the man up above was trying to sit here and tell me, like, yo, this your lady. Here she go. She right here. She right now. You read in the computer lab. This is her. Because you're going to face something in a couple of years. And you need to see that this woman right here, who I'm trying to show you, she will have your back. And I'm thankful to the man up above that I didn't miss it. Now, I went a couple years and we went separate ways, just friends, never crossed that line, whatever. But he showed me from the very beginning, because I wasn't yet understood of what the fire I was about to go through with the disease. And she's not like a fallback person, but what I'm telling you is, when I got sick, I started to think about what are the things that I need out of a woman? What are the things that I'm yearning for out of a woman? And I found her before it was too late. Because I figured out through going through the fire, when you make it on the other side, when you finally got stable, when you finally got out of the wheelchair, Tyler Campbell, when you can finally feed yourself, when you can finally take care of yourself, life became very real as to what's most important. And I wanted what my parents had, bro. Like, Low key, what came out of the fire? Love. At the end of the day, in a roundabout circle of what I'm telling you, love. That's what came out of it. I wanted love. I wanted to love someone, and I wanted to be loved in return. And when you finally came full circle and the crust got out of my eyes, after many years, when I thought of love, it was her. And thankfully, I did not run out of time. Thankfully, I didn't run out of time. Now, I'll tell you something. Let me tell you, she gonna get on me, but I'm gonna tell you, she was seeing somebody else. Hey, Pat, class in session, baby. She was seeing somebody else. But like Dennis Rodman's daughter said on social media, shoot or shoot, baby. Pat, shoot or shoot. And I shot my shot, nothing but net. Before Steph Curry was handling it, your boy TC was getting down. And I shot my shot, and I got lucky. But again, I don't feel like my heart could be able to even attempt a holler at a woman like that if I don't go through the fire of a disease that simplifies what's most important in life. Not money, not trips, concerts, jewelry, riches, homes. For me, not for everybody else. For me, my fire revealed that I wanted love. I wanted to love someone, and I wanted to be loved in return. And thankfully, I didn't miss out. So when you're going through the fire, ask yourself, yo, what am I supposed to be learning in this moment? Listen, and as dark and as rough as it is, because what we're going through, all of us, many of us, especially within the country at this time, many of us navigating the healthcare system at this time, the job market at this time. I don't know if y'all have ever went into the grocery store and bought some chicken in the grocery. Yo, I'm like, are we buying the whole bird here? I got to be getting the whole bird because what I'm getting right now for what I'm paying. And look, I'm going dark meat, the cheapest of the meat, baby. I'm going dark meat. Am I paying for salmon right now? Because last time I checked, these chicken thighs, bone in. But the way it's in the register right now, it looks like I'm paying for salmon. What is most important to you when you're going through the fire? And then start thinking about it, start praying about it, and start simplifying life very, 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 very quickly. And don't give up on what it is that you are weeding out of life to maintain your focus on what it is. For some of us, it's ascending to another level in jobs and it just let it be simple. But the fire is trying to teach you something right now. And I don't know what that is. Only you can figure it out and know the fire. I'm not saying we go out looking for it, but bottom line, yo, we in it right now, 10 toes down. So we figure out what it is that we're trying to figure out, what it is that it's trying to teach us. Because on the other side of the heat, we got 102.7 ESPN. On the other side of the heat, we got Pro Player Foundation and traveling the country with as a speaker, as somebody who people need words for, as somebody who puts on educational panels for multiple sclerosis. That's what was on the other side of my heat. And believe me, I'm still living with MS day in and day out. So I'll catch you guys on the other side of this break. We're going to talk about Shaquille O'Neal. On the other side of this break, we are going to talk about the Netflix show Power Moves with him and Allen Iverson and Reebok. And again, we're also going to talk about NCAA and being inspired by it in our second, our second word of the week. And we'll go to another level. Also, if you played the new college football game, please let me know how that works out, how it's looking, and if it's worth my purchase. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm still going to purchase it no matter what. Make it seem like I'm buying something for my son, and I'm going to be the one staying up late at night when everybody else is asleep playing my dynasty mode. I'll catch you guys on the side of this break. Real life, real talk. Tyler Campbell, aka Mr. TC Speaks, 102.7 ESPN. Let's go. Hey, Pat, did we go ahead and cut to the break? We good? Is the microphone safe? All right, man. Let me know. Hey, Pat, have you played? You might not have as much time to play video games either.
Not the new one.
Not the new one. Did you played the one last year at some point in time, probably, right?
So when I bought the PS5,
Yeah.
it was like get an EA game free.
Yeah.
So I picked that. I played one game as Texas
That was it.
versus Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
I lost.
Of course. Gameplay's harder, Pat.
I never played. I played the mini game.
Oh, Pat. God dog it. You came a sore loser. Gotta get back on the game. Gotta get back on the sticks. I'm gonna buy the game tonight. I'm gonna buy the game. I'm hoping my wife isn't watching this. I'm gonna buy the game. And listen, I'm gonna trick my son into the game because he likes creating things, right? He's my artist. I'm gonna say, son, let's create this high school player, but I need you to create him. I need you to get his hair right, his wristbands, design his face. And daddy will take care of the gameplay. Daddy will take what you've created, and I will take it from high school to college to the combine. He won't know any of that, but I'm gonna get him to create. That's how we're gonna tie in the family, Pat, because I can't purchase nothing these days unless it's something that family can enjoy. I'm buying the doggone game today. All right, so here we go. Power moves. What would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? When I first saw Shaquille O'Neal coming into the NBA, you have to recognize that that's a product of San Antonio Cole High School. My middle school basketball coach was on the staff at San Antonio Cole, and he always kept a picture of Shaquille O'Neal in his office. And so when Shaq Diesel came into the NBA, breaking backboards for the newly cemented Orlando Magic, Anthony Hardaway, Nick Anderson, Derek Scott, I was a supreme fan. And so I've always followed Shaq. I love him. I think he's one of the most playful characters. I think he's phenomenal, right? But he has a show on Netflix called Power Moves with Allen Iverson. It's kind of like the revamp of how they're bringing back the basketball shoes at Reebok. And it is an amazing series. I encourage everybody to go out and see it. You will be entertained, and it just kind of gives you the backward. And I love shoes anyway. I love shoes. Think they're great, and especially basketball shoes. But we're going to talk about the show and why I came up with that mindset just watching Shaq. Okay, and we're also going to talk about Pat because he didn't know Allen Iverson was a dope football player.
You are listening to Real Life, Real Talk with Tyler Campbell on 102.7 ESPN. Reach out to Tyler at 512-834-1027.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, listen, if you're on YouTube, I don't know what the struggle is on my screen. It looks live. I will try to get it corrected. Big E, I don't know. Maybe if you get out of that setup, I don't know. Maybe something, it's saying it's live on my end, but I will figure it out. At TC Speaks 32 on all social media platforms. Come to me at Instagram at Real Life Real Talk. We are going live right now. And so let's keep the train moving. All right. So in the beginning, we talked about grace. All right. This message will be uploaded on SoundCloud after this is over. So again, head to SoundCloud, check it out. And again, the first message that we had at the very beginning was the word grace. Also, you can email me, Tyler@tcspeaks.com. Tyler@tcspeaks.com. I will respond. So we talked about grace. Go back and listen to that. I believe that's a word that will speak volumes to everyone and where it comes from. Okay. Grace and how none of us are worthy of it. And matter of fact, the definition is getting the things that you don't deserve. That's every single doggone person over this planet. So many things come over our way that we don't deserve. Just look over your past. I'm not diving into it, but I got one. I know you got one. I'm sitting in this chair, 102.7 ESPN, and trust me, my resume does not line up to deserving to be here. All right. So thankfulness, appreciation, gratitude. All right. For I let that man on your cerebrum. Sometimes a man has to go through fire to figure out who he is on the other side of the heat. Sometimes a woman has to go through fire to figure out what she is on the other side of the heat. Point blank, Cliff Note version, a strong summary. Sometimes you have to go through the adversity, trials, and tribulations, and they are necessary to figure out who it is and what direction you're trying to go into in life, or figure out what it is that you need to see in life. I utilize my multiple sclerosis diagnosis and journey that I still live with. Can you imagine being in the doctor's office when they tell you that you have a disease of which there is no cure? Like when you come face to face to understanding, like you're gonna live with this for the rest of your life. Like this is your life sentence. You know what I'm saying? That is, I was 21, right? Many people can identify with that. Okay. So I also figured out who I was, what valued and what mattered most to me in the midst of going through this trial of living with a disease. I simplified things. I simplified what I looked like, what I wanted out of friends, right? What I wanted out of a spouse, right? What I wanted out of my decision makings. What were the end results? I thought about a lot more things in depth than the Tyler Campbell who did not have a disease. Naturally, right? You think about things a lot differently. What type of home do I want to live in? Yo, I can't be on the third floor at the apartment complex, but we got to be on the first floor. What if something happened to your boy? Then it becomes the selections of first floor apartments in Austin, Texas, it gets narrowed down really quickly, right? So again, just thinking of things, but you figure out who you are and what you're capable of on the other side of the heat as you're going through your go through. And I love me some TC. I have my ups and downs, my highs and my lows, but today I can tell you, man, I love who I'm seeing staring back at me on the other side of the fence, man. Again, grace. People have lost their lives in floods nearby. Thoughts and prayers to those friends and families. And you have the grace to have life, breath in your lungs today. Some people did not. I could think of nothing else more inspiration. I could think of nothing else more motivational. I could think of nothing else to light a fire underneath your behind than the fact that you have life when you've seen over national news that people don't have theirs anymore. For some people, they can look in their own neighborhood. They can look in their own family of people who are here and they are no longer there. I'm not telling you have to look far, but you have grace over your life. So you don't have to take my words for it. Let life tell you that you have promise today, and we need you to make the most of it. Okay? So check it. On Netflix, staying with Netflix. I watch a lot of Netflix. Can you tell? There's a show called Power Moves with Shaquille O'Neal on Netflix. I want everybody, especially if you are a basketball fan, to go back and watch Power Moves with Shaquille O'Neal. And it is the show saga of like he and the great Allen Iverson and how they are president and vice president cemented over the shoe department, the basketball shoe department at Reebok, right? Because if you know the history, it's always been Nike. For the multitude of my childhood, it was Nike and Reebok, right? As far as shoe sales. Reebok has slipped and slumbered. Nike has gone to another level, and these two individuals are responsible for bringing Reebok back to what it was. And if you know your history, obviously Shaq had those pumps. Shaq's had numerous shoes with Reebok, right? And he has always been the lead seller. Also, you have to recognize that Allen Iverson, when he came in, and I challenge y'all to go back and look at Allen Iverson's history and shoe contract of what Reebok went out of their way to deal with him. I think, and I can't remember it. Earl, if you can look it up, brother, what happened with Allen Iverson's contract? At what age did he reach to where he could reach another level of bonus or continue to get paid out? I feel like in his contract, he got more money when he reached like 40-something years old or something like that, how Reebok looked out for him. But when his shoes, the questions, the answers, like Allen Iverson then became the next lead up for Reebok sales, right? After Shaquille O'Neal. And so they're in the documentary and they're responsible for bringing it back. And they go back and they kind of go after real specific athletes to be the next wave of Reebok in his shoes. And when I watch and listen to Shaquille O'Neal, and listen to me, his budget is not my budget. His wallet is not my wallet. We talking about Shaq Diesel, okay? But if you look at him from a business standpoint and an entrepreneurial standpoint, if you really listen to his story, I think when he was coming out of college, he read a book called like Business for Dummies or Entrepreneurship for Dummies. And in the book, it literally said for him to surround himself with people who know what he does not know. And then, gauge the relationship from there, but don't go into business thinking you know it all. And it's just, you got to figure out and be savvy on how to read people and how to partner with people. And ever since then, if you look at Shaq, I don't know if it was stocks. I don't know if it was Amazon. I can't remember what it wasn't Amazon, eBay. I can't remember what the biggest one was that got him off the ground and he invested in it. But his investments, Papa John's, like all these things that he's involved with. So naturally, he's doing the same thing with Netflix, right? But when I look at Shaq and I listen to him in his business moves, I thought about Like, what would you do in life if you knew you couldn't fail? What would you be? What would you try to become? What would you try to start? What are the things that you know that you would do if you knew you couldn't fail? And when I look at him in business, and granted, he's at a different economic, status, and I know like he's got money to play with, such and such. But at the end of the day, he's like, yo, if it fails, it fails. I believe in myself so much that whatever failure I'm going to endure in business, I'm savvy enough and I've learned enough to know that I will put something else in play that will bring back whatever it was that I lost. He just signed a new deal. Holy smokes. I got to look at that. They said, hey, I just signed a new deal. So I've got to go back and I've got to revamp my thinking, because most of the thing that stops Tyler from moving forward is not the boss, is not my wife, is not another person, it's not the opposition. Most of the things that stop Tyler in his tracks are Tyler. It's TC. And I've got to get myself, and I thought about this. I said, TC, stop looking at things about what can't be and start thinking about what would happen to you if you just went into it, giving it everything that you got, like, you wouldn't fail. Because what happens is I dream big, and we'll dream big. And some of y'all in the same part, like, we dream big, right? We think about things, and then we live the high. There's an aura that comes over. Oh my gosh, I could be this, I could do that. Yeah. And then you come to reality, you're like, but I don't have no money for that. I got kids to take care of, bro. And we will stop the dream. The dream was just for you. Now, we talked about grace. We talked about all these other things, and you just had the dream. You just had the thought. Whatever it is that you're thinking about, you had the thought, but then there's that thing that comes also over after your thought that says, no, you can't. It's not someone else. It's not anything else outside of it. It's us, and we stop it. And so I'm challenging. When I started looking at the microphone, when I started thinking about the MS space, when I started thinking about inspiring, when I started thinking about teaching classes, oh my God, I was like, I can't teach. I can't go to University of Texas and teach kids how to speak. I don't have a degree. And then when I said to myself, yo, shut up and take the meeting. Just shut up and take the meeting, Tyler. Go over there and start meeting with people in the communications department that want you to come in and speak to the kids and start talking to them about their journey, and start talking to communication majors about, what you have learned on the speaking circuit. Get out of the way. And that's what I'm telling somebody over the radio waves. Get out of the way. Yeah, you could fail, but you could succeed also. There's an idea. There's something over your spirit. There's a move to be made. There's something coming over you. And I'm telling you, do it. I'm telling you to get into it. And if you fail, so what? So be it. I guarantee you learn something in the experience that better prepares you for something else down the road. But you won't get that if you don't go through this, if you don't start this. So I'm telling you to take the chance and doggone it, get started, because the only thing stopping you is you. You got to move you out of the way. It's not somebody else. It's not another boss. It is you, doggone it. Let's have the reality. Let's have the conversation. Because when I'm watching Shaq, and I encourage you to watch Power Moves, he literally is like comfortable with himself. Like, I'm going to see past me. And I'm going to walk through this. I'm going to learn from these experiences. And you know what? If it succeeds, it succeeds. If it doesn't succeed, it's on me. But I've learned from this experience to better me for further down the road. And that's how we have to look at things. Stop worrying about the failures. Start thinking of it like no matter what, you're going to succeed. Because if it's not used for you right now in the moment of what you're going through, you're going to use it further down for the next thing in order to know what not to do. And here's the elephant in the room. It also could succeed without any issues. That happens too. So what does that do for you? All right. I want to catch you guys on the other side of this break. We got a shorter show, got another segment. Pat didn't think I was watching the clock because I go on a tangent half the doggone time. We got one more last segment coming through. It is our final segment. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Bottom line, if you don't know nothing else about this show, go back and look at Netflix. Go look and find Power Moves, Shaquille O'Neal. Number 2, go watch the show forever. Okay? And then catch me on the side of this break after you go ahead and go to your Netflix account and cue those movies. And we'll talk this thing out to close the last segment. College football 2026. I'm coming. Don't tell my wife. Catch you guys on the side of this break. Let's go so we can grow. Oh, yeah, baby. Okay, Pat. Hey, Era, I'm here with you. The first guaranteed him 800. Listen to this, Pat. This is Allen Iverson's contract. Listen to this. The first contract guaranteed him $800,000 every year for life with no ongoing promotional obligations. He just signed another contract. The second was created. It created a $32 million trust fund he'll be able to access when he turns 55 in 2030. That's from Reebok alone. Like that's I don't know, Earl, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know of other people that had like those types of, like, I feel like Reebok and AI were the first ones to kind of have that type of long-term thinking and long-term kind of agreement. Like that's how much they believed in him. Was there anybody else who had that type of stuff or anything at that time?
There's like a Yankee player in the 90s who
I wonder who.
he got like $1 million a year for like 30 or 40 years.
Really?
Even after he stopped playing.
You know what? You know what? Google this one too. Is it was it Bobby Bonilla who
I think so.
he was with the Mets?
Mets.
He was with the Mets, and I think they're still paying him like $1 million a year or something close to it.
Up through like 2030.
Yeah, he's got, man.
A couple weeks ago, it was like Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah, so I feel like they are still, because the guys when the Mets like really made their rise and like came back, because they're always a little sister to the to the Yankees, and I feel like that was when the Mets made their run. They had that one run. And I think he was a part of it, and they paid him out. He's still getting paid. Golly, man. Yeah, that's what I said. Bobby Bonilla, you right there. Kobe has a lifetime deal, and Kobe left. What do you do? He left Adidas to get with Nike, right? Still loving those Hirachis. And LeBron, and so you know what I'm saying? Like LeBron's, the Kobe's have contracts like that, yeah. But AI was like, they didn't have like that up until AI, right, Earl? Like that's crazy. Golly, Bobby Bonilla, I gotta go look that up. I gotta look at that story when he signed that contract. I gotta go look back over some old clips and be like, holy crap, still getting paid. He gets listen to this. He gets $1.2 million a year until 2035. Pat, he still got 10 years. Oh, what? Golly, Earl, when did he retire? When did he retire?
Like 2000s, I think.
Oh my God!
Early 2000s.
That's free money. That's not swinging. Pat, we're in the wrong field.
10 seconds.
Golly, we're in the wrong field. Bobby Bonilla. What am I doing on radio?
You are listening to Real Life, Real Talk with Tyler Campbell on 102.7 ESPN. Reach out to Tyler at 512-834-1027.
If you can see me on YouTube or social media, I'm holding my head. I got 2 words for you, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby Bonilla. If you don't know him, look him up. I'm a fan. Child of the 80s and the 90s. I mean, I watched the Mets, make their comebacks. And this man gets $1.2 million a year and has been getting it since he's left. He has not played baseball since 1999. He retired in 2001. And this man gets $1.2 million a year and has been getting it post-baseball up until 2035. What am I doing on 102.7 ESPN? Why wouldn't I put a bet? I'm going to tell you something. Tyler Campbell, aka TC Speaks. This is Real Life, Real Talk. By the way, this is not what this show is normally about. But in all honesty, I could take a football hit. There was something about holding a bat and a ball that scared. I was scared of baseball. But looking back over it now, what the heck was I doing playing football? $1.2 million, Pat, until 2035. Bobby Bonilla has signed the best contract sports. It's got to be one of the greatest. I don't know if there's another one that's that good in sports, not advertisement, but I don't know, life after sports. Y'all, please let me know. I would love that. Tyler at tcspeaks.com is my email. But my goodness, bro. Pat, we're in the wrong industry. Anyway, okay. So recap really quickly, guys. We got about 5 or 6 minutes. Again, please head to SoundCloud. If you missed today's show, go back, share the messages with others. Our word for the week. Our word for the week was not even grace. I'm gonna give you the word of the week in a second. But we talked about grace and what it meant, what it means, and how everybody needs to go back and look at the definition. And for me, grace is getting what you don't deserve. That's every single person, no matter who you are, getting what you don't deserve. We talked about grace. To let that man down on your cerebrum. All right. Figure out. Sometimes a man or woman has to go through fire to figure out who you are on the other side of the heat. Long story short, Cliff Note version, you go through your go-through. It's not fair. It's not right. That loss of a loved one, it's not fair. It's not right. That job loss you experience, it's not fair. It's not right. The sickness that you're diagnosed with, it's not fair. It's not right. The friends that backstab you, it's not fair and it's not right. But when you're going through that fire, it changes you. You think differently. And sometimes the best of us, if we're truly invested in our mental health and we have the right supportive system around us, when you make it on the other side of that fire, you figure out you figure out when you go through when you're going through fire, you figure out who you are on the other side of the heat. So when you go through your you're bold enough to grant some wisdom. Last week we talked about knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. So when you get that wisdom, you figure out a lot about who you are as you've been through that experience on the other side of the heat. All right. So go back, listen to the message, go watch the show forever. And then in terms of who would you be, what would you do if you knew you couldn't fail? And 10 times out of 10, our biggest opposition is ourselves. With whatever idea, whatever relationship, whatever friendship, whatever it is, we are the ones that stand in the way. And so I'm asking you, whenever that hiccup comes over you, which is fear and which is doubt, all I'm asking you to do is flip the switch in the other way and think, well, what if this doesn't fail? What if this idea does succeed? What if this relationship is that next one? What if the welcoming of a new child into the world, even though it strikes fear into your life, what if that is the thing that actually propels you to think differently, aspire differently? So just think differently. When the fear comes, just choose to think a little differently. And I'm telling you that because I wish somebody would have told me that. Yeah, most people just halt you at the fear, the warning. But what if something different's on the other side of that? Word of the week is honestly this: reach. Reach. To touch someone, to stretch out despite discomfort and spend time with someone. To stretch out despite the discomfort and touch someone and spend time with someone. Reach. To stretch out despite the discomfort and spend time with someone. Our best commodity that we have is time. We all have it. It's irreplaceable. It's priceless. For the week, I want us to reach out, stretch out, try to touch someone, spend time with someone that you've never spent time with before. Shout out to my man DePaul. I saw him walking down the road this week. We spent some time together today while I was walking my son. I never met somebody a day in my life, but in my heart of hearts, it was telling me, yo, go speak to this dude. I went and spoke to this man, and he actually spoke volumes to me. And he told me that to let that marinate in your cerebrum about going through fire. He was like, yo, you need to talk about that on the radio waves today. And I went against my hearts of hearts because he was a total stranger. They was like, yo, speak to him. And because of that, we have something on the special on the show. Reach, reach, reach. Who will you touch and spend time with this week? Tyler Campbell, a.k.a. Mr. TC Speaks. This is Real Life, Real Talk. I'll be here. Go back on SoundCloud. Download the message. We'll have it up in the next couple of hours. Tell a friend to tune in. We will be here every Saturday. Me and my man, Big Pat. Go find Bobby Bonilla and tell him I'm his biggest fan. $1.2 million. We coming on 102.7 ESPN. Let's go so we can grow. Peace! Hey, listen, I love y'all and I respect y'all and I appreciate your time. Wish you nothing but continued blessings as you go day in and day out. Grace, reach. Be looking all around for the lessons learned as you're going through the fire of what you're experiencing in life. I love y'all. I respect y'all. About to go sneak this college football 2026. Get over on my son, make him create me a player, and come tonight at about 10 o'clock when everybody's asleep. Getting them thumbs working, baby. Love y'all, respect y'all. I didn't get to the point of what I want to talk about with NIL. I'll talk about that next week. Let's go so we can grow. Peace, y'all.
taking your son to the dad